What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're discussing a topic that I can't believe I'm saying this, that by modern standards is actually pretty controversial. Is, talking about hating Nazis for some reason is controversial. The part where I'm saying is, people are liking Nazism or are starting to like it. That's the part that's controversial, or at least it's hard to explain, but basically, what's controversial right now is people are starting to think that Hitler, the guy that had around, I believe, the guy that had 70 to 85 million people die during World War II. It says that the estimated total number of deaths during World War II generally ranges from 70 to 85 million people. Other estimates suggest that the number of deaths could be as low as 35 million or as high as 60 million. The exact figures are difficult to determine due to the chaotic nature of the war and varying mythologies used in counting casualties. That that is that is almost 100 million people. And if we're going on the best, like the amount of people that say that um like if we go through the scientific understanding, they say that it's 70 to 85 million. If we're going by that, that's almost a million or 100 million. That is like a lot of people dead. And it's completely sad, as this is this all came from one guy, Hitler. And even, hold on, if we look at like an ethnic chart, we could see Jews were the most, obviously. Soviet civilians and POWs were staggering. And in wars it should be only the soldiers. In fact, even better, no deaths at all in war, but you can't avoid that. But the people that are in modern standards, people that are avoided in war are civilians. At least in the American standpoint, is everybody who is not a civilian is a enemy unless that civilian does something that is, an enemy. But that's not the point. The point is today is here. We have a map of where most people were died. Soviet Union's the dark red, and lighter colors are the least amount. But anyways, it's crazy to say this, but people nowadays are starting to, be more with, what's the word, with Nazism and fascism. Like, they're becoming fascists and Nazis, which is terrible, because their defense is that the Soviets, is that Hitler had or did a lot of bad things, but he had a lot of redeeming qualities. Everybody has I was going to say redeeming quality, but no, there's no excuse for Hitler. Hitler could be, what's a good example for a person who's, does something good? He could help a grandma cross the road or feed a bunch of kids meals. Like, that's good and all, but you still kill a bunch of people for no reason. And people say the reason is because that the Jewish were in his land and whatever. That's not the excuse. The excuse is, his excuse at least, was the Germans, is that the Jewish were doing well while the Germans weren't, and they were blaming on the Jewish for them losing World War I, and that's why everything went to crap. So that's why Hitler did all the terrible things, the Night of the Long Knives, moved a bunch of people to ghettos without food and stuff. They died of disease or really compact stuff like that. And that sucks, because those were everyone was innocent. Like, every single Jewish were there, was most of them at least. most of the Jewish there were pretty much just innocent kids, women, children, men, and stuff like that. And people are starting to um say that Nazis should be brought back, and they are identify as a Nazi, which you can't identify as a Nazi. That's like, it's not a thing where it's like I identify as gay. If that's, at least if that's what they're talking about, identify. But that's just terrible. Most of these neo Nazis come from the conservative side, and people who think that KKK is a good thing. And yeah, as you can see, most of them are coming from Confederate sides. At least for the American neo-Nazis, they come from Confederate sides. There's even a group of neo-Nazis, as you can see. And absolutely terrible people. They're burning the Iron Cross, or not Iron Cross. That's still German, but the the swastika, 45 degrees in angle, because remember, swastikas have many meanings in the world. If they're just a normal facing swastika, they're not tipped 45 degrees. That means that's luck, I believe. But we're not getting into that right now. We're getting into the point where people are just becoming neo-Nazis. Putin's secret neo-Nazis inside of America's neo-Nazi leader Thomas Sowell applies for bail. See, all of these just people who do hate and stuff. That's it. That's all they are, is just hateful. It's all they do. U.S. Open tennis fan ejected after singing song associated with Hitler.
Hey, last one down buys the Ultras.
You're on.
Not only do you go up, your opponent goes down. Just have a chance here for Sinner to make something happen.
This is unbelievable.
See, just people are absolutely just, they're terrible people. I agree with them. That's completely unacceptable, and it just sucks because over the last years, I say since it's either 2016 or 2020 or 2019, people became just completely and utterly Nazis. Not everybody, of course, but a lot of conservatives that are voting Trump become, Nazis, and it's just terrible because you shouldn't be a Nazi. It's just terrible. So, yeah, I just wanted to say the situation where people are becoming Nazis and whatever. So, yeah, if you like these kind of explaining videos or topic video kind of things, I'll still do the normal gaming videos and normal videos I do on YouTube. But if you like them, like and subscribe. I like doing a bunch of different things, like I said. Like, I'll play Minecraft, Roblox. I'll do kind of like news coverage type of thing. YouTube, or like political kind of stuff, maybe. I don't know. I just don't really want it to be all controversial. But anyways, make America Nazi free again.